Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's session on integrate your CAD tools with SAP. So the agenda of today's session is, I think Ajay has already covered the introduction part of it about our company. So then we'll be covering on solution at a glance, that is primarily on SAP PLM solution, predominantly on the CAD integration part of how we integrate CAD tools with SAP using the PLM solution. So we will be also touching upon the ERP and its architecture, PLM as part of the ERP and its architecture, the various components available as part of the PLM system, modules within SAP, what are the modules available, why SAP PLM is a solution that you should look at for CAD integration, and solution in detail predominantly on the CAD integration part of it, the various technologies that are available as part of the PLM tools to integrate all the CAD systems, the time frame of implementation that it would take, and some followed by summary and some case references that I'll be running through today's session. Okay. So as you see on the screen, this is an overall solution at a glance in one slider that we have covered, which covers both the typical challenges that we come across in almost all the companies, predominantly on the manufacturing, new product development, the design and development, and R&D departments. Typical challenges that we see across most of the organization includes both the business as well as the functional challenges with respect to the department as well, and overall as a business, as you see. So on the business point of view, the challenges that we have, that we come across at most of the customers are to deliver new and innovative products to the market in a very short span of time, because there are due to heavy competition that is and the marketing demands, the customer demands, where it is always a challenge for every company to keep innovating and deliver brand new products to stay in the market and beat the competition and survive based on address the consumer demand. So that is one of the major challenges that we foresee as part of the R&D organizations or the new product development that we see. The next would be at the same time to shorten the development cycles, because if we have to deliver new and innovative products to the market, we need to find ways to shorten the development cycles typically. At the same time, also maintain the cost, which at an optimized cost for all these new products that we are developing from the innovation point of view. Then we also have what you see is the product complexity being developed in the span of the company, because the market demands from the consumers are such a way in that you need to always innovate with all the pros and cons keeping in mind, and also the expectations from the market. So what happens is there is a rising product complexity that needs to be addressed to meet the demands of the consumers, and focus on development efficiency as well as on the product compliance. So any product that goes into the market has to meet certain standards and has to be compliant with industrial standards, environments, and so on. These are certain challenges which, from the business perspective point of view, where you also have to look at collaborating with your customers and suppliers to deliver these products quickly into the market, boost the profit margins by eliminating overlap and waste across development, and optimize and deliver the products at an optimized product cost. As we see some of the business challenges, we also have some functional challenges which we have listed down here. Primarily, more or less, this could be the same across all the business segments in India and also outside the world, outside India as well. So what we see is the disconnect between the engineering and the various other business functions. Each of these business functions are working in silos, or the informations are restricted at individual departments for various reasons. It could be because, for example, let us take the R&D department. As we see that these designs which are being created at the design and development or R&D are the IP of the company, and so they would like to secure this data at utmost security, and hence what happens is they are isolated in the sense they are working in their own environment, not connecting to the other business functions across the enterprises. And we also see that there are heterogeneous CAD systems being used across all these this R&D and R&D design and development department, where to create all this design or the models of these particular designs that are being carried out across the R&D department. So, like for example, not only the mechanical CAD applications nowadays, we see even electronic CAD applications along with analysis and simulation software being used for all this design activities. There is organizational separation of development and manufacturing. So what happens typically, any data, any designs that are generated in a design department has to eventually be handed over to manufacturing. So a seamless integration or a synchronization has to happen between not only these two departments, but also the other business functions like quality, purchase, and all this. Most often we see there is a disconnect right from the R&D department to other business functions. There's no actual flow of information. There's no informations available as it is seamlessly across all these business functions, because of which there is a delay in the decision process. There is a delay in various other business functional activities because there is a connectivity across. It depends. Each of the business functions activities are dependent based on the designs that is generated from the design department and hand over to manufacturing. Then the purchase has to plan the procurement activities based on the manufacturing activities that needs to be done. So all these are interdependent, and hence what happens is most of the times these informations are not made available across the business functions seamlessly. There are disruptive processes. There is no system in place to manage all your design related activities, not only the design related activities, including your other business function activities, which are not available in one single source for us to get connected with the information. And hence what happens is there is a disruptive processes. So apart from this, the major challenge would be as to have reduce the total cost of ownership and the investment point of it. So how do you address all these challenges? As we see on the screen, we have what is called as a SAP product lifecycle management as a complete module, which is available as part of your ERP system. The advantage of this particular solution is it is already an integral part of your ERP suite, or for example, for that matter, even your S/4HANA. So it is already available as part of your existing ERP landscape. It is tightly integratable, and it can has its deep integration with all other within your ERP structure. That's the major advantage of this particular PLM suite. What happens is you have PLM, which connects with all the major other core modules like MM, SD, PP, FICO, where there is bidirectional flow of information that needs to be synchronized. That's already available as part of your ERP suite. So what are the modules which are available as part of PLM? We see here right from the CAD integration, which is the major focus of our discussion today. We would be covering completely on the CAD integration part of it, how CAD, mechanical, electronic, and various other CAD applications can be integrated using this SAP PLM Engineering Control Center. The topic of discussion would primarily be on this, how to integrate the CAD tools within ERP using this Engineering Control Center, although this is a module of within SAP. So with this, we will be able to manage the design document management part of it. How do you manage all the design data, which could be the CAD assemblies, parts, drawings, and also there could be some non-CAD related documents like your Word, Excel, PowerPoints, like your technical specification that you receive from your customer, the enquiry that you receive from the customers, and various other inputs that you receive in various formats can also be managed within this CAD integration tool. You managing all your design document management and non-design data also to be managed in the same source. With that, what we have is we can have a versioning and revisioning, status management, workflow and approval mechanism, wherein any design data that goes for a release has to beforehand has to go for review and request for an approval before it could actually be finally released. So with the workflow, you can establish a mail notification or a trigger that goes to the respective business head or team leader or the project manager who has to approve that particular design before you can actually release. So all these functionalities are available as part of the solution. Apart from this, you also can manage your material master, BOM management, and various other functionalities which is listed down here as part of the solution. So the benefits are, as we see, as we are already, as SAP PLM is already an integral part of your ERP suite. So the total cost of ownership and the total cost of investment from the implementation point of view and from the maintenance point of view is very minimal. We are going to leverage the existing ERP for the managing all your design data as well. There is nothing that you need to invest in terms of the hardware or in terms of the software, except for the platform which you need to buy when we would like to integrate these third-party CAD authoring tools like CATIA, Unigraphics, Pro E, Creo, SolidWorks, Solid Edge, and so on. So that way, what happens is, as we are leveraging the existing ERP landscape, the total cost of ownership in terms of implementations, maintenance, software licenses, and all the stuff, it's at a very, very minimal rate. Price as compared to various other PLM solutions which is available in the market. So we bring in an increased ROI through operational excellence simply because SAP PLM has a deep integration capabilities with all the other business modules, live informations, live operational related access to the data with respect to various other business functions like sales and marketing. It could be your finance, it could be your HR, it could be your quality department, procurement, all this stuff, where we bring about a collaborative environment with one unified system. So seamless flow of informations between the engineering and manufacturing is established. There is a synchronization that we bring in. And with that, what happens is you bring about an enhanced efficiency as there is connectivity that we are bringing about between the R&D department, product management, and various other departments within the enterprise using this PLM suite. So that was in overall, in summary about what is this solution all about? What are the components and modules within the solution? What are the benefit that you would leverage using the PLM solution? Okay. So now moving on to the architecture. As you see on the screen, this is the complete modules that are available as part of the PLM package within your ERP. So this particular slide talks about the PLM architecture, right from CAD integration, which is the top layer, where we need an additional license only for that. With integration of that license that is procured by the customers, you can integrate any of these CAD applications. And in the middle layer of the PLM suite that you could primarily see is the core PLM components, which is already available as part of your ERP system. So right from document management system, where we manage all your design data, and also the associated design data like your Word, Excel, PowerPoint, neutral file formats, technical specifications, enquiries, RFPs, RFQs, and so many other documents that are flowing in and around as part of the ecosystem within your R&D department. Then we have what you have called as the BOM management, your primary bill of material that can be generated with the document structure as the reference, the material master management for all types of materials that are flowing in for all the manufacturing activities. It could both the EBOM, MBOM, and your service bill of materials or various other masters that we're talking about. It also, along with all these, we also have what is called project system. In case you would like to manage all your R&D projects, yes, that project system can be used along with the other modules within this ERP suite that forms the complete PLM package within your ERP system. So the major advantage of SAP PLM within ERP is that it is already available as part of your ERP system. So there is nothing that you need to additionally install except for that the CAD integration package which you need to buy additionally because we bring in this integration for all the new third-party CAD applications, right from mechanical and electronic CAD applications. Otherwise, document management, classification system, variant configurations, routing, material master, BOM management, engineering change management, project system management, all these things are already available within your ERP system. Using your existing ERP licenses, you can make available, you can do the necessary configurations to activate these components. For example, document management system can be used to manage all your any document that flows across all the in all the departments. For example, let me take if there is a expense management that needs to be managed, all the expenses of your executive, sales executives who go on field, or there is who go on field, they would like to claim their expenses on the travel that they make. There could be there's some hardware and software maintenance that needs to be kept in track. Audit documents, legal documents has to be managed with somewhere in the system. Document management is one such system that can be used with using your existing SAP licenses to manage all these data, including your HR related data that can be managed. So these SAP PLM component within the ERP is tightly integratable across all the other modules, core modules like SD, MM, PP, FICO modules within the ERP system. Okay, so coming back to why SAP PLM, as we have already seen, SAP PLM is not just a CAD-centric solution. It is not a standalone system which is just restricted to your design department alone. It is much beyond the CAD-centric world. When I say much beyond the CAD-centric world, it not only integrates your CAD applications, it brings about the operational related activities also made available or visible to your design activities. So it's a process oriented PLM system rather than just a CAD centric related PLM. So what happens typically in any as compared to other PLM system, what happens is it is just restricted to integrating that respective CAD applications, design data management, and generating only the engineering bill of materials. If you would like to have access to any operational related data, like for example, you need to have some RFQ information related to what RFQ or is this particular design activities are being carried out. What is the sales order information? What is the PO? What is the procurement related activity happening? Or the design data, is it made available to the procurement department for them to visualize how this particular component is? And with the click of a button on that particular design component, will the procurement team be able to access the information from which supplier we have bought this application or this component, we need to buy this component, when was this procured, for the maintenance related activities, if they have to analyze the trend of that particular component, how it is behaving for the quality department, if they would like to have information about this particular component was procured by which department, which vendor, what is the life cycle of this particular component, when was it procured, what is the due date for its maintenance, all these necessary informations may not be available in a standalone PLM system, whereas in SAP you have this because SAP PLM solution is tightly integratable with all the other business modules, as I said, within the ERP system. That is where what I meant was this is a unified system, a unified interface which brings about a connectivity across all the business modules within the enterprise. That is where I say that here a seamless integration into SAP ERP through SAP PLM. So document management within the existing SAP infrastructure, order-bound creations and management, where we can create all the manufacturing bill of materials or engineering bill of materials and the service bill of materials in one single unified system. No export of data into SAP system is required if we are talking about any other PLM system in place. Assume if there is as compared to other PLM system, what happens is if it is connected to a CAD tool, the engineering bill of material that is generated from that the non-SAP PLM has to be exported in some format which SAP understands, and you have to manually upload or manually create this. We have seen many customers, they are manually creating this. They're taking roughly about a week or 20 days in minimum time that they need to create a material masters and bill of materials manually. That's a time-consuming activity. All these can be avoided using the SAP PLM Engineering Control Center that we will be talking about in the coming slides. So what is the approach that's typically available in the market? And I leave it to you. You would be the best judge on why you should look at SAP PLM because for these reasons. So as you see on the non-SAP PLM integration with any CAD tool, you need to have two connectors with when we talk about integrating with SAP as well, with the non-SAP PLM solution. So what you see here on the left side of the window is, if we are talking about a non-SAP PLM solution, you need to have two connectors. One connectors to connect between your CAD to the non-SAP PLM, and another connectors from the non-SAP PLM to the SAP ERP. And this adds to the cost of the licenses, not only from the licenses part of view, as well as the effort that would be involved in implementation as well. Whereas on the rightmost side, if you see, it is one single connector that would be required from the user's point of view, where he would have access to the SAP system through this PLM connector right from the CAD. He can access all the SAP related commands, menus, and informations and data within his CAD environment. And for that, he just needs one connector, which is available as part of the licensing BOM from SAP point of view. So with this, we the overall cost of ownership and from the investment point of view, I think it comes to the optimized level. That is where we see, as we see here on the SAP PLM side, we bring in one single connector, which takes you right from the CAD tool to your SAP system. All the necessary informations can be made available to the users, and that is as per the requirement. If you would like to provide the complete access to the users, you can, or we can restrict based on the based on various reasons and business strategies based on the functionalities as per the usage of that particular tool within the department. We can restrict that as per the requirement. So this is a small comparison between the various PLM tools that are available in the market and why SAP, you should look at SAP PLM. As I said, since we are going, PLM is already available as part of your ERP suite. There's nothing that you need to buy additionally as part of the software cost, because it's already an inbuilt component within your ERP. While on the non-SAP PLM, you have to buy this as an additional cost. Then we need to buy the CAD integration connectors for each of the CAD applications that we are working. So each CAD connector has to be in place. This applies for both non-SAP PLM and SAP PLM. While it comes to ERP integration, no additional connectors are involved, because PLM, one single connector is sufficient for you to get integrated with SAP. While the non-SAP PLM, you need to have ERP integrator or connector as well, which calls for an additional cost. And on top of this, we also have from the investment point of view on the hardware as well, plus the implementation. So while we bring in hardware, while there's an additional connector, standalone non-SAP PLM system coming into the picture. So from a non-SAP PLM point of view, there is an additional hardware also coming into picture, which goes into lakhs. Investment, we have seen customers investing in not just single digits lakhs, it's in double-digit lakhs that we see, where customers are investing on hardwares to manage all these non-SAP PLMs. And while in SAP PLM, there's nothing that you need to have any additional hardware. We can leverage upon the existing ERP landscape itself. Existing ERP servers can be utilized for your PLM activities as well, except for one content repository for managing all your design data, all the part files, assembly files, and which does not call for any high investments. So on the training and training part of it, as most of them are familiar with the SAP environment, minimal training would be required from SAP PLM point of view, non-SAP PLM point of view, as it is completely a new tool that brings about an extensive training to the users, as long as the users are comfortable in using that particular tool. So this summarizes on the overall modules which are available as part of the SAP PLM, why you should look at SAP PLM. Now let's talk in detail about the CAD integration platform. What the solution that we have from SAP point of view is called SAP Engineering Control Center. This is the latest technologies or the solution that SAP has brought into the market, which typically brings about a very user-friendly interface that I would like to show you as we see on the screen. So it is, after the necessary implementation that is carried out, you have one menu which comes onto this desktop. An icon that gets onto the desktop, which is all the user interface, all the user systems where they work on a day-to-day CAD related activities. In similar way, you have a SAP PLM Engineering Control Center icon. After the installation that we do on the individual system, it comes onto their respective user desktop. So you click on that particular desktop, on that particular icon, it takes you to the login screen. So I just enter the particular login credentials to take me into the tool. It's a simple Windows-based application. So with very easy to use, user friendly, with all the necessary windows that are available as part of the system within it, that is where each of the users uh, can make their play around with that particular interface and make their screen as per their requirement that they want. It is highly configurable as part of your system. I can move the windows to whatever way that I would like to. So I can configure, I can move around this and make my own user interface. So it has by default certain into a viewer. On the left hand side, you see the project desktop folders that we can create as part of the project system, as part of your project. Let's say, for example, you are working on various automotive projects, various projects within your within the organization. I can create folders based on the project. If I'm working on some projects related to an automotive light commercial vehicles, or it could be heavy duty vehicles, or it could be aerospace, could be a general manufacturing based on the customers. I can create all the processes based on the customers, based on the component that I assembly that I am working on. All these, I have two kinds of folders over here. As you see, you have a public root folders and the individual the respective user folder. So the public root folder is a common folder which is available across all your other colleagues for whom to access, like for example, some standard folders that you may use, some standard CAD models like bolts, nuts, screws that should be widely used across all your other within the department. So you would like to access that information. It can be made available in your public root folders. And while your specific designs can be made available in your individual folders, which is the private folder, what we call it. When you click on this particular info, when you click on the respective object on this desktop window, necessary information would be made available on the right side of the screen, which is called the object browser. So you can see here how with click of the button I can see all the informations here with all the thumbnail views also as well. So if there is an AutoCAD file, so it gives you the respective informations about that particular AutoCAD files, or if I click on any CATIA V5 file, it shows what kind of a file it is, what is the status of this particular model, is it in an in-work status, who is the current user who is working on this, when was it created, when was it released, what is the material that has been associated to this. All these necessary informations will be available. So you can as well launch AutoCAD, SolidWorks, Visual Enterprise, not only on the CAD applications, even the, as I said, non-design non-design data or applications like your Word, Excel, PowerPoint can also be launched through this particular engineering control center. It's, as you see, the interface is very simple, lightweight, and very user-friendly. Any of the users, any of the designers who is working in the design activities will get easily accessed to this particular tool, and he needs a very minimal time to get to know about this particular solution with minimum or normal training that what we give to the users. And then you have an inbuilt viewer. Just with the right click of this button, you have various informations like right click on this particular component or the originals. If you click on the original and say open original in viewer, it loads onto the viewer. So it goes to the screen like this. Okay, so this is just to give you a glimpse about how the application looks all about. So let me take you to the slide back. So what is that you need to have in place? The minimum prerequisite that you need to have in place to bring to integrate all your CAD applications onto SAP. So the minimum prerequisite is you should have SAP ERP. Document management system needs to be configured, which we will do as part of the integration, and then the SAP CAD integration licenses that you need to buy. So as far as the SAP ERP system is concerned, you should be on a minimum version of EHP 5 and above, ECC 6, EHP 5 and above, and from S4 HANA point of view, S4 HANA 15.11 version and above. SAP CAD integration is very much supports if we are on this minimum package level. Okay, let's move on to this tool. Predominantly on the CAD integration part. So let's go in detail about what are the modules, what are the components, what are available as part of what does SAP Engineering Control Center as a package offer in terms of integrating all the CAD related softwares like mechanical and electronic CAD applications. And what is that the users will benefit if you integrate SAP PLM Engineering Control Center. Okay, so as is explained earlier, SAP PLM Engineering Control Center is the latest solution which is made available from SAP point of view as a package which is available to integrate any of your mechanical CAD applications. As you see on the screen, the middle of the screen, mechanical design as well as the electrical and electronic CAD applications. Okay. I hope you're able to hear me. Okay. So as you see on the screen, the carrier we can integrate any of these mechanical designs that you see on the left hand side. We can integrate carrier right from carrier graphics, PTC Creo or Pro-E, Solid Edge, Inventor, AutoCAD, MicroStation, and so on. So and not only the mechanical CAD designs, we can also integrate any of the electrical and electronic CAD applications like ePlan, Altium, Cadence, and many others. I would show you down the line in the next slides the supported electrical CAD applications from SAP point of view. So right with this, how does this particular tool looks like? As we saw in the previous a small demo which I showed how the CAD application looks like. As you see on the screen, it's very lightweight Windows-based application. It can integrate any of these mechanical or electronic CAD. The same application is common for all of these CAD tools that you assume. If you're using multiple CAD platform, multiple CAD softwares in use, this would be the same single unified system or the user interface to manage all these multiple CAD applications, be it mechanical or electrical design softwares that is in use. This would be the one single unified system which the users would have to. You will have a thumbnail previews before even you actually open that. You can actually visualize the component. What is this component all about? How does this component looks like? All these things can be visualized. So the architecture of the SAP PLM Engineering Control Center looks like this. You have a backend package of ECTR which needs to be installed onto your your ERP server, and then the front end which I just showed you as a demo how on each of the front end user machines we need to install the front end package, which is a Java based application. Okay. So this would be the typical interface, how it looks like, as we saw in my system, how that CAD integration platform or authoring tool PLM system, how it looks like. So you have a desktop window, you have an assembly window which can show you both the ERP related data as well, the bill of materials, and all the associated operational related data like change numbers. It could be your sales order related information. It could be your inventory related information. It could be your manufacturing bill of information. All these things can be made available with just this one single interface. So with this particular tool, you have access to complete document management. You can manage any of the design and non-design data which are coming from any of these CAD applications, and also associated CAD applications like your Word, Excel, PowerPoints, JPEG, PDF. All these neutral file formats as also can be managed with versioning, revisioning, and the status and workflow configured along with it as part of the package. Then you also have what you call the engineering change management. So any design that goes for after the revision needs to go for a change. You go for an engineering change management right from ECR to the ECOs and engineering change number that gets generated. That all these things can be managed within this tool, engineering control center, and then also the material masters and BOM masters with visualization as part of the package. So this is the menu that you would get SAP PLM as a menu within your CAD applications after the necessary configurations and integration that we bring. So all these individual options will be available right from opening and saving the files, including your document management, the bill of materials, the material management, all in your CAD application itself. every users will have access to all the SAP related functionalities within his CAD tool. That's the beauty of this PLM solution. So there will be a bi-directional flow of information across from the CAD applications to your ERP through using this SAP PLM Engineering Control Center. So as I said earlier, we can control the document management. We can manage all your documents as part of the PLM suite within this ECTR package, where it helps you. Let me take you how it actually works like, for example. So let me say, for example, this is the interface. You would like to, very user-friendly, Windows-based application, simple drag and drop would work. So let's say, for example, I would like to push this particular file into this. So it asks me, it automatically knows what kind of a file it is. So it knows it is a Word file. So automatically I can give the name as test, and then what kind of, it can support multiple languages, and the description of this file is automatically taken. And with just click of the button, okay, this particular file goes and sits in the ERP system. So this is very as simple as it is. We use simple drag and drop, copy paste, Windows-based commands that are very user-friendly. Any of the users can simply drag his file and put it into SAP with minimum effort. As you see here, this particular file has been saved, and it is now in Project Maruti. So because it is, since this is gray, yellow in color, this particular component file is the active folder right now. It goes and sits. Rather, you can also search this file. I just say test, as I know the file name, which was just recently saved. So I can just, there are so many files that has been created here. Likewise, I can drag any of the other files. Let me take this file and drop it onto this folder. Would you like to create a new document with the given file, or would you like to attach it as a preview file? So I'll say new document. It knows what kind of a file it is, and accordingly I can give the name, whatever is the file name that I would like to. So let's say again, I would like to say a design related data, and just say okay. So as simple as it is, so this particular file has been just saved into the ERP system. So very user friendly. The user would have to have a very minimal effort has to be put in place for him to actually put this data into your PLM system. So if I were to view this particular design, yes, I can see that. As you see here, this particular windows takes me to the particular information as part of the system. So you can see this, you can double click on this window, it goes to the full view and just minimize it as per the requirement. So the necessary information is brought onto the right hand side. So as simple as this. Okay, so that's the kind of effort a user has to put in. Very light, very user friendly, and at the same time very minimal effort that an user has to put in to push his data into this. I showed you just now to put only the non-design data into the system, while I can also put design data as per my requirement, any design data that I would like to push in. So let me go and create some folders based on the project. I can create the folders. The folders can be created in with respect to the project that I'm going to work. It could be your automotive projects. Okay. So the folder gets created, very simple. So if you see here at the bottom, the folder is just got created. I would now like to make this as active. So the moment I make this active, any data that I create from any of these CAD applications will automatically go and get saved into this automotive folders. Within this automotive folder, I can still have various other folders, subfolders like certain departments would be working on engine. I will just create a folder by name engine. Certain designers would work on the chassis. I'll just make a folder by name chassis. So like this, you can categorize, you can a folder, complete folder based system can be managed within your PLM system, and you can categorize all your projects, you can categorize all your folders, you can categorize all your designs as per your requirement, and bring in this completely under the control of the users. Or you can also you can have a common folder system created by your project manager and made it available in the public root folder, where I can have, based on new product development, within the new product development, I have a pre-batch and the prototype and the mass production or so. I can also make a copy of these folders and make a complete folder structure copy for the new projects which I would like to create. Okay. So it's very user friendly, as I showed you. It's all the features and functionality of your document management. So all these is part of your document management, which comes as part of the tool. Okay. So with the documents and the complete assembly with the parent-child relationship maintained, with the document structure that gets created, you can bring about the engineering bill of material that and the manufacturing bill of material that can be created with the document structure as the reference or the base. So with just one click of a button, right mouse button click, you have options to create material masters, bill of materials, and so on. So there are various windows available. Let me take you back to the screen. There is various windows available here, like the bill of materials. So I can drag and drop the assembly structures. So as soon as I drag and drop the assembly structure, I would get the complete bill of material related information. So this is the assembly structure. I expand all, it shows me what is this. And within this, you have what you call this box, which refers the material associated to that. So that particular material information can also be accessed within this engineering control center, which is a part of the EPLM suite available for the users. So let me take you back to the presentation. So I'm moving between the tool as well as the presentation to just to give you a feel about how the tool looks. What is the tool? So I'm just mixing all the demo as well as the presentation to just to keep you interested and excited about how this tool looks all about and how it is very user friendly from the user's point of view. So you have an inbuilt viewer which is available as part of that, where there are certain additional functionalities within this viewer where you can do a sectioning. You can also do some simple measures. You can drag and draw, pull the components and all the stuff as part of the package. So what are the licenses which are as part of the package that one has to buy if you have to leverage all the functionalities, whatever we have discussed so far? So as you see, all these are mechanical CAD applications like this. We also have for electrical and electronic CAD applications as well. So you need to have one specific CAD integration package for specific CAD applications. You cannot buy one single application CAD integration interface for all and use it for all the CAD application. There are specific CAD engineering control center interfaces for specific CAD application. So the customers has to buy the respective CAD package. The customer has both graphics identified, and the license that would be required is SAP Engineering Control Center interface to NX and Engineering Control Center interface to CAD V5. And in case if the customer also has AutoCAD, then he has to buy additionally Engineering Control Center interface to AutoCAD, apart from the major top two component that is available as the professional and standard editions. That was on the licensing part of it. Okay, now what would be the time that would require if we have to implement this package to integrate all your CAD applications, to manage all your design data, to configure based on your business process? All this, it would run only in weeks time. So typically any PLM, any SAP PLM with respect to CAD integration, the minimum implementation time frame ranges from 6 weeks to 12 weeks. Maximum to about 3 months of effort would be required for us to implement this and make it available, covering all business processes that you would like it to be implemented as part of the PLM tool. So overall, what is the values and benefit that you would leverage? We have discussed in length in all the previous slides, but yes, this is one summary of the values and benefits, where you have a single source of truth and system management and administration. So there is one single unified system where you can manage all the data right from the licenses, hardware, and maintenance part of it. So overall administration part of it to the IT team is brought to an optimized level, and at the same time an optimized cost, because we are going to leverage your existing ERP landscape itself, as we mentioned earlier. Investment protected. Existing SAP infrastructure is leveraged for all this PLM implementation, and hence the investment is protected. When I say the investment is protected, total cost of ownership and investment is at the very minimal that we are talking about. Data quality is secured because we bring a secured SAP environment where all your data quality is maintained and secured, including your process as well. So overall, this is an interface which is a comfortable interface with SAP, directly made available to your CAD integration as well, where you have the menus available within your CAD package. So as overall, it is one seamless, unified system which is available for the engineering department to manage all your design data. Okay, that was in length about how do you integrate CAD with all the CAD applications, right from electronics, mechanical, and electrical CAD applications, managing all your documents, including your versioning and revisioning status, workflow, approval mechanisms, material master, BOM management, engineering change management. We have certain customer references where we have done all these for you. So these are certain customers where we have done this on one of the customer in Delhi, which is a leading hydraulic system manufacturer in India, where there were R&D was not connected to the SAP first of all, and they were not having a collaborative environment with the manufacturing, quality, and procurement team. We brought in a system wherein now the design departments are able to collaborate with other business departments seamlessly. In the sense, for example, let me give you an example. One of the typical challenges that this particular customer was facing was the design data, whatever the designs were created, were stored in a common repository or some system, which was not integrated with SAP. And what happened was there is no flow of information to the SAP system or to the downstream departments. So we brought in this SAP Engineering Control Center, typically to manage all your design data and also bring it into SAP so that your material masters and bill of material gets automatically created. Without the system, the customer was having a dedicated resource who used to file all these design drawings in a file, and each of these design drawings were taken as a reference to create bill of materials and material masters in SAP, manually feeding the data, which used to take for him roughly about, for example, let's say around 200, 250 components within an assembly. He used to take roughly about 7 working days. And with SAP PLM Engineering Control Center, we were able to automate this particular entire activity right from the design data management. The users were able to create material masters and bill of material with just one click of a button. So we reduced the complete 7 days of activity by the dedicated resource to just about 1 hour to a day's time. So that is the kind of efficiency that we brought in to this particular customer. We completely brought in an efficiency level, and where the time taken from handover or the handover from the design to manufacturing, we completely reduced it from 7 working days to just one working day. So that is the kind of efficiency that we brought in for this customer through this particular SAP PLM Engineering Control Center. We also did SAP PLM Engineering Control Center interface to one of the leading kitchen home appliance manufacturing company in India, where again here the R&D department was not connected for various reasons and for strategic reasons, because they did not want their design IP of the company to be made available widely across all the enterprise. But what we brought in was again a secured environment, which is with necessary authorizations and access control. We have maintained that particular confidentiality and security. Security is still been established there now, where at the same time the design department is able to collaborate with other business functions or the downstream departments like quality, tooling departments, manufacturing departments, and so on. We have integrated the SolidWorks CAD applications to manage all their design data, including versioning, revisioning, engineering change management, workflow, approval mechanism, and so on. We have also integrated this document management system to one of the leading mobile manufacturing companies like Intex, where there are about 5,000 documents that needs to be managed per day, right from because they have various sales offices, plants, and service centers where all these documents are being flowing across all these, including the expenses the payments that needs to be made, all these invoices that are flowing around across all the distribution centers and all this stuff. Roughly around 5,000 documents. Imagine 5,000 documents which are going in papers, printouts, emails, and documents that are being sent through couriers and all these things. We have completely digitized that. There is no more papers moving through emails or through couriers. Even if it comes through couriers and so on, what happens is we eventually made it available into SAP in such a way all these are digitized and made paperless. So it's a complete green environment that we have established at this particular organization, which is the Intex Mobile Manufacturing Company. Then we have also done the PLM document management system for AIA Engineering at Gujarat, to manage all their sales order pre-processing, RFQ management, which was all physical in nature, which used to take roughly about 15 long days, typically because this RFQ process within the organization takes about 15 days to flow to go across one department to another department, because the manufacturing plants were spread across. There were 4 manufacturing plants which were spread across different locations. To respond to the RFQ, it used to take roughly about 15 plus long days. We have reduced this to about 4 working days, 4 to 5 working days, by bringing this PLM document management system in place, where there is all necessary notifications, workflow and approval that goes in, and notifications are in place, so that the respective departments are notified about their respective tasks or what needs to be in place before this, when there is an ongoing activity on that particular RFQ. Each of this department gets a visibility about what is happening on each stage, and that is where now the response time, whatever the delay, there was a delayed response, and in responding to the RFQ has been optimized. There is a quick response now because of the visibility across the departments through this PLM document management system that we have configured. So that was in short about how you can integrate the CAD applications using Engineering Control Center, and that's it for now.